Hello, English 2 students. Welcome to week 2. I'm sitting in the shade of a tree that I've probably passed by for about 20 years now in my work at Cabrillo, and I'm vaguely aware of it because it is kind of unique. And if it were to fall, I would feel like something's missing. I would be sad, but it would have a relatively mild effect on me. Now, I have friends from Bonnie Doon and Big Basin who have recently lost their homes, and the surrounding land has been devastated from the lightning fires, and the effect on them is obviously more far-reaching. And I know that's true for some of you, and we are all very, very moved by what you're experiencing. And the Amamutsan tribal bands of this area have an even longer standing relationship with this land for generations, and have been working with California Forestry to do controlled burns of trees in the area so that such devastating fires don't need to occur. And it's that indigenous connection to the land we'll look at now as we go to Palestine and see how the Palestinian people are so closely identified with the trees there. And then we will see the Western Sahara the following week and the connection of the Sahrawi to their land. And so we're going to be looking at that connection. And right from the start, the way that Decintio links the people to the land and to the trees gives us our rhetorical strategy for the week, and that is personification. Now, personification is attributing personhood to a non-human entity for emotional effect and increased investment. We learned that the Nakba refers to the 1948 expulsion of Palestinians from their land. It means exodus, except that Decintio refers to a Nakba or exodus of olives, right away personifying them. He says that when the edict came, the olive trees were the first victims. He goes on to talk about how the cutting down of olive trees that had been in families for hundreds of years was for them like losing a venerated ancestor who connected the generations. And think of it like this: the tree you remember from your childhood would be that same tree that you'd watch your children play at. And it's that same tree that you know would then watch over your grandchildren and your grandchildren's children after you were gone. And so that tree is a connection through the generations, and to lose that connection was to lose a legacy as well as a lineage. So I wondered how common this feeling is, and I did some primary research. I'll be sharing the thoughts of a Palestinian friend of mine whose father worked with the olive farmers in pre-1948 Palestine, so more on that later. But for now, I want to suggest that we view personification from different angles in this chapter, not only as a rhetorical strategy of persuasion, but an accurate description of a relationship between humans and nature that is best understood as a filial one. I'll begin by providing some background on Palestine, the West Bank, and Israeli settlers in the area. Then you'll read the chapter, and we'll consider critical thinking concepts that I introduce as we go. And we will discuss it all at the end of the week. So take your time with this chapter, really look at the nuances, and if you've read it already, then maybe go through it again a little more slowly, and look at my peripheral materials. And if you are struggling with understanding the history of Palestine, I will try to give you as much supporting materials as I can. Thanks for being here for week 2, and I'll see you soon. Bye.